Hello ladies and gentlemen, Asuka here. I'm bringing another video for Conqueror's Blade, published by Forest Interactive and developed by Booming Tech. So, this is going to be one of many PTR videos, as you kind of, if you kind of like kept up with a lot of things with PTR, they don't especially for new seasons, they don't normally come out with a lot of information or, how to say, the English translation is never the greatest out from the get-go. They're either completely missing or, well, sorry. It's just completely missing most of the time. So we're working in the dark, basically. So most of the things that I will cover right now are kind of visual things. So I'll go through the battle pass, what you earn from the Conqueror's Path, the battle pass, the Fame Shop, the Seasonal Store, and then I'll briefly go over the seasonal units and I'll kind of explain some of the runes that we kind of understand. It's not all clear. Some of them are a bit strange, and some of them the translation that I've got is wrong. So, first things first. We have, well, season pass. Obviously, we got a nice looking one. I will create a female character after this in order to get a view of the female one. But yeah, we also have a nice looking flag. Not the greatest looking flag, I'll be honest. It's a bit too golden for my liking. This one is a very nice, muscular kind of attire. I would definitely love putting this on something like an Iron Reaper, something with like a good heavy weapon. Could be cool with other combinations. The one thing that I don't like is obviously I always hate the horse skin. The horse skin always it's a bit hit and miss because the unit itself is its own thing, the horse is its own thing, and sometimes it clashes, sometimes it works, sometimes there's just one aspect that I really hate. I really hate this thing. I don't know, I forget what it's called. But that being said, I do love the plated look for the hero horse. It is much better than the unit horse one. And of course, we have the 100 awesome looking armor. Oh, okay, that's broken. Great, thanks. But yeah, is this broken? Yeah, it's broken as well. Alright, they didn't fix that. So all the videos are broken. That's fine. Honestly, I kind of wanted some of the things to look better. The everything in general looks really great. Both of the attires look amazing, and I'm pretty sure I have max settings. Let me just double check. Yeah, I have max settings. So, yeah. Um, Fame Shop Boy. Let's just go walk over there while we take a look at some of the. What the heck is. The hecka? Ah, man, I can't preview them because they're all hidden away. But it looks like we're getting. So, oh man. Basically, if you can see it through here, unfortunately, it's just. What? Spin? Okay, I wish. So we're getting some kind of gold and white look. Very. Oh man. I don't know. Like, the gold and white look from the black. And I mean, like, this. We have a red one, we have the blue one for the armor. I think they should have went black. black for the armor. The red one totally makes sense. The blue one, half half. I think a dark blue would have been very nice as well. Black obvious is an obvious choice as well, but the white and gold makes it look a bit weird. Also, there is some kind of filter on the thing that makes it look strange. Like I don't know why the shadow um, Mujari has this filter that it's like it has some kind of like reddish hue to like the face and stuff that makes it weird. Um, and again, a little bit more brighter for this one. Not terrible, but again, there is two clashing themes here. The Yoriki unit attire is always just it just looks weird to me because it's just like the horse is very ornamental, but the guy is just not at all. You gotta kind of unify the general theme, and obviously you have the ones that from last season. So we also have a green and what do you call it? Because I don't think this is gold. Might be gold. Might be a bit more bronzy. Yeah, might be a gold color. And this would be a little bit more dull. What do you guys think? The greenish color or the white and gold? I think the white and gold definitely looks the best. White and gold with a little bit of red. Brown. Brownish red. So, those are for those things. Let me just create a new character real quick. Keep forgetting to like kind of create a female character ahead of time. Complete. Hello? Wow. Oh yeah, that's right. Connection for these things just take a little bit. Ooh. We're about to get bombarded by this. So let me just quickly do a couple things. Back in. Alrighty. So. Showing a bit too much, eh? Always just the problems with the differences between female and male. But, I mean, again, this is a ludicrous amount of, I don't know, like, it ruins the style when it's that egregious. Like, cover up, please. Like, it looks like she's wearing it wrong somehow. Even though it looks lovely. It looks like she's wearing it wrong. I kind of understand some of the like accessories, but the asymmetrical nature of it is just throwing me off. The greaves are symmetrical, but the braces, then you got a bracer, then you have a bracelet, and then I forget what this is called. Um, I like the snake thing, by the way. Like it's really cool and probably authentic to like Macedonian or like that kind of era style of accessories. The good thing is that the general form for these are quite similar, except we're missing the two feathers on the side of the helmets. We're missing the pauldrons, and of course, like a part of the skirt. I say skirt, but it's got an actual name for it, but I forget what it's called. Um, and again, like I don't mind a stripped down look, but it just doesn't make sense when you have these kinds of key differences between male and female. Like it's not like one has a breastplate and the other one doesn't have a breastplate. Like they both have breastplates, but one is definitely formed for female and the other one's definitely formed for male. Like make a lot of the details of the armor make sense when you're kind of doing this thing. Otherwise, you completely like throw me off here. Oh yeah, and you can take off the cape. I forget about that. Which can be, which I didn't actually test out. I had the cape. Not bad. Oh man, that actually works out way better without the cape. Nah, headdress is required because the hair is just so lovely. I mean, it looks nice. Definitely looks nice. The physics is left to be desired, but that's just collision stuff. I, man, also it could just be looking at the shapely backside. This does not have a cape section, so that doesn't change. Still, it's, again, a very lovely dress. Just looks wrong at certain angles. And maybe when you're running around with it, it's not as bad. Nah, it's pretty bad. The amount of thigh here on just one side is irritating. Like she's wearing, like again, it's like she's wearing it wrong, and the skirt keeps flicking through my legs. Yeah, I don't like that. Ugh, this is why I play male characters, because it doesn't annoy me as much, and it's so easy to get the male characters right. Alright, okay, with those being done, I will now briefly cover what I understand for the runes. And for this, I'm going to steal someone who was very helpful and to roughly translate a couple of the things. But I will explain that his translations are very rough and are wrong because I think if Alan translated a couple of these things actually could do them probably. I would like totally love it if Alan could just do the whole thing, but yeah, no way he's gonna do that. All right, man, this is super annoying. Obviously, you got your two main ones. All right, hopefully I can do this so that everyone can see. So the general understanding, if someone remembers kind of like the rage runes, that's kind of returning. But in here, it's been translated as Holy Mug. So just for consistency's sake, I'm going to just colloquialize the actual buff as Holy Mark because this is what I'm basing it off of. So it has the kind of same thing where a buff, a buff called Holy Mark has a trigger condition on the headpiece. So if you can't see the words behind my thing, it says headpiece or helmet. Using ultimate triggers the Holy Mark increases 2% damage value. So like increases your damage values by 2% for 20 seconds and triggers once every 50 seconds. So if you have an ultimate that has a lower cooldown than 50 seconds, using this, you might mistime your Holy Mark usages. Killing 3 units trigger Holy Mark increases 2% damage value, lasts 20 seconds, can only trigger once every 30 seconds. Now, this would be insane for those that love diving onto enemy units. I'll tell you right now, there is simply no possible way heroes get in on top of units that doesn't just completely whack them in the face or just fight off other heroes. Now, again, you have the other condition where it says killing a player, hero slash general. So it's just you kill another player, you get Holy Mark. Increases damage values by 2%, lasts for 20 seconds, triggers once every 30 seconds. And then the last one, but not least, is that when your health goes below 50%, it triggers Holy Mark. So this is kind of like really good for kind of like people who kind of likes to do the counterattack when people hit them kind of thing. But it's also very subjective on the situation and timing wise of like when people jump you. It does have a trigger condition, sorry, it does have a trigger condition that relies on you taking damage and it has a cooldown of 35 seconds. So it still lasts 20 seconds, so all of them last 20 seconds, so that is the baseline. Um, it's it's honestly it's honestly like whatever at this point. I don't see it being I don't see it being any good right now for just that thing. But you will see as we scroll down, there's synergistic effects because you add in more effects to this kind of thing. So you get like this passive that just is there. More or less, it's going to help with damage. So people who like to deal damage will definitely benefit from a lot of these. Adds a lot of utility as well. So we have the boots slash leg wear. So again, we're adding in additional effects. So during Holy Mark, increase speed by 20%. That's one of the things. We got increase damage by additional 8%, but reduce defense value by 20%. So this is kind of like this is kind of like just increase your damage by 8%, and it really only works for light armor. Well, you can use it on medium armor if you want, but the less armor you have, the more efficient this is. Because if you take 99% of damage and you reduce your armor value by 20%, you're going to increase that you're going to increase the opponent's damage by like 0.2% while you are dealing like an additional 8%. So it's just really a battle between your additional damage is better than the reduction in defense, and there is a coefficiency here, so like you will find out like the average penetration versus the average penetration versus your armor. So you can do a cost-effective analysis here, whether or not running this would be better or whether or not keeping your defense high is better. We also have the allow moving while healing. I guess I hate this, by the way. I think this is the dumbest thing. Um, being able to sprint, sorry, I don't mind moving as much. Sprinting is what makes this really annoying. If you weren't allowed to sprint, I'd be fine with that. Like, if you could move while healing, fine. Give it to them. Don't even add the cooldown. Don't even add the increased cooldown. Just let them move. That's fine. But being able to sprint while managing, yeah, should not happen. At least have a reduction in healing amount. What's really lame is how little the amount here for during Holy Mark increase um, defense value by 30. I know it's only a 2 energy one. 8% with defense value reduction versus 30 defense value? I don't even think that's equivalent at all. Like 8% of increased damage by an additional 8%. Like this is can be any damage. This could be flat damage. This just be their damage values. So if you deal 4,000 damage, you're dealing an extra 8%, and might not sound like a lot, but if I'm doing my math right, that's 320 extra damage. You're doing 4,320 damage versus your 4,000 before. This defense value is less than like, first of all, the highest value you could get out of defense value is like probably roughly around about 3%. It would be half that much for high penetration things, but it's just like seriously, the comparison here is just so whack. But then again, the detriment of like you wouldn't have these two together, by the way. Anyway, you would probably have the speed increase and the defense value increase, or you'd go the damage increase, heal while moving, and oh well, yeah, and heal while moving. That's it. Oh man, that'd be the best one actually. Speed increase and the heal while moving. Every time you just get below 50% health, you just sprint away, just heal. Healing, 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 healing. That'd be funny. That's actually really funny. I actually think that maybe people would do that. So this is the bracer, otherwise like the gauntlets and stuff. So during Holy Mark, crit value is increased by 300. Crit value, oh, sorry. There are differences here. One of them, I remember, like, for some reason, they use one kanji difference, and I think the first one here, oh God, one of them either refers to the damage and the other one refers to the chance. I don't know which one's which, but you can imagine that like you have critical chance increase and you have critical damage increase. Now, roughly, from what I remember, 100, like the number 100, whatever, like crit chance is equal to something like 1% increased chance. But it's directly counteracted by a crit resistance. Every one crit resistance counteracts one crit value. And then you have crit damage, which scales at a really awkward rate. I don't remember what I calculated it as, but it's like some odd thing, like 63 points to 1% damage increase or something. So there's that. Um, this is a cool kind of thing where it adds a debuff for your basic attacks, but you think about it, what what which heroes will use their basic attack most of the time? Nodachi would probably be your best bet, though I just use it as kind of like an abuse case where throwing out your if you hit someone with your ultimate, then you throw out the basic attack and then you hit them with another CC, like it'd just be so much damage. So yeah, like this could be crazy strong. During Holy Mark, normal attacks cause normal effects inflict enemy sorry normal attack cause inflicted enemies enter a weak state status reduces defense value by 20%. So again, English is not English translation. The translation here is not precise or colloquialized properly. And obviously you have the healing. After healing, when using when you use heal for 10 seconds, you're immune to bleed or poison. And then you got the regular 5% strength. Now, I think this is new. This one's never seen before. These have, I think these are similar, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, when receive fatal damage, player enters a 1.5-second invincibility. There's a 180-second cooldown, but it resets upon death. So if you still die, you if you die, this gets reset. That 1.5 seconds is very massive if you're going to go full on glass cannon. The only sad thing here is that I would honestly have mixed it with I would have made this like a 2 energy one or given me an option for a 2 energy like a 2 energy holy mark upgrade so I could have this and that one, but again, I don't. You were overloading a lot of power into this holy mark thing for your general armor runes. And if you've ever played that particular season where we had this kind of mechanic before, I don't believe it was. I don't believe it was Helheim, but I think it might have been Helheim. Um, Anyway, we have Holy Mark increases damage by 20%, but received damage increased by 30%, decreases the duration by 15 seconds. And this was the kind of like similar thing where it decreased the duration of the actual buff. And now your 20-second buff is only 5 seconds. It's still a big increase though, 20%, but you take 30% increased damage taken. Depending on who you are, this could be kind of bonkers. You could you could 100% 100 to 0, even heavies probably. And then during Holy Mark, reduce received damage by 10%, shorten duration by 15%. Not really equivalency, but I guess they did this in order to avoid heavy armors just going absolute apeshit on just being able to reduce damage because 20% damage increase is like reducing 20% of a person's damage is much stronger than a 20% increase in damage. So it's really weird, but how it actually works out is that decreases in damage needs to be flipped and then multiplied out. So a 20% decrease in damage is actually like an increase of like 25% survivability. And so you would only need something like a 16% damage like reduced in damage received in order to be equivalent to like a 20% damage increase as just like a base point kind of thing. And then you have a version of the damage increase, but with no downside. So during Holy Mark, increased damage by 10%, duration decreased by 15 seconds, and you got the regular receive critical or headshots. So it says critical, it actually means back shots in this case. So that headshots damage reduced by 15%. I like I like this. I hate bloody getting shot by longbows. They love headshots. Headshots deal 4,000 damage. Get hit by 5 of those, and I need to walk off the battlefield before he kills me. I've been hit by I've been hit by longbows, even with their massive penetration nerfs. I still been hit by longbows that deal enough damage to make me cry. Like, it's that bad. Um, Now, a lot of these things are not correct. This is where things get really weird. Now, let me just kind of go back and check a few things. Because Alan did end up translating a couple for funsies. Okay, so one of them, okay, so he said most of them were correct, but one of them was translated so badly. Maybe because it wasn't written out. It was an Odachi rune, by the way. That was probably not translated properly. Okay. Anyway, I will make an update once actual English translation comes through, but as far as we know, this does HP damage after getting hit by 3 normal attacks. Apparently, this will cause concussion, so it adds CC onto Lightning Bolt. This one makes no sense because Trap Prey should already have a CC on it, so much confusion. And this one sounds really stupid because it basically doubles up the effect of the Stinging Strike for Chain Dart. I mean, reducing the cooldown of Scorpion Snare for we essentially think it's Stinging Strike, which is your Shuriken skill. Well, yeah, um, kind of bonkers. This one we had before, increase ambush damage, kind of new. Ambush damage has been nerfed so heavily that it's just like this would probably not be used because Shuriken is the superior gameplay. I don't think very many people even uses ambush. Maybe they do. I know some people have been running around with Shuriken and the stun grenade. Been using to great effect. Though again, I don't think ambush is going to be great again, even with a 30% damage increase. There is a problem with just not being able to get through armor. Ambush used to have some kind of redonkulous 100% armor penetration bullshit where it would ignore armor. It was changed to 80%. I think it has been removed completely, and the amount is flat 200% slashing. So yeah. Not that the base damage on Jewel Blade is any good, but like it scales really well since like you can get like 500 extra slashing damage or something. Um, this goes off of its passive, so this increases your armor penetration. Oh man, there's a passive. There's a passive. Sorry. So the short bow, so this is translated slightly badly, but basically it's not saying for each point increase in movement speed, it increases 30% piercing penetration. What it's saying here is that um, what it's trying to say is that for each point of your short bow armor piercing passive, you get a certain amount of piercing penetration, stacking up to 30%. Or that's what we think it's supposed to do. So instead of giving you just piercing damage and movement speed, it's also going to give you armor penetration as well. So short bow is going to be super strong in dealing damage once it ramps up. If it's ramped up, these guys basic attacks will hurt. And I kind of like this better than whatever the bleed shit is, because losing 50% of my health to bleed sacks is a no for me. Um, we've already seen, yeah, the dual blade one's mostly just like, oh wait, hang on, now I've skipped back. Um, yeah, just as normal attack triggers marked damage increased by 10%. So, you know how poison arrow and um, you know how there is a secondary effect where when you hit an enemy with poison arrow, the marked effect explodes for like a flat amount and a percentage of current health? That's getting increased by 10%. It's not a lot. It's not a lot, but like because it's a percentage, it can be a lot. Um, I'm looking at it right here. It says 200 plus 8%. So over 2 seconds, that will be changed to 220 plus 8.8%. In the grand scheme of things, that 0.8%, I mean, if we're working with 20 to 30,000 health, um, that's what, like 16, 160 or, yeah, like 160 or 240 extra damage. Not the greatest. It's still something though, right? Now, this is the really cool one. Is 5 round rapid is probably going to be changed to a shotgun. Um, the weird thing here is that it's stating it's stating something that just makes no sense because if this is correct, which I don't think it is, um, it's saying that either the total number of shots is 120 plus 2,000, but that would push it way below its normal variant. And if it's each shot, that is retarded because getting blasted in the face 5 times would kill anyone. That is 600% and 12,000 damage. So, not sure about the numbers here. Really cool concept though. 5 shotgun shots when you use 5 round rapids sounds amazing. Absolutely amazing. I hope it's going to be like that. Though I haven't used it, I could try it. Yeah, why don't I try it? I can do that. There are a couple of things I could test out. Ah, man. You know I'm thoroughly underprepared for this, right? Seasonal rune. That's all of those ones. Now, let's see. Put on 5-round rapids for now. Alright, let's go test this out real quick. And hopefully I change back so that you don't miss a thing. Go to training yard. Some things that you've seen before. Black powder bomb, grenade, liquid fire, range increased by 15%. This is now spear, mounted right click stamina reduced by 20%. Oh, yeah. So for every stack of luge marked, you get a increase in piercing penetration. Like, I don't know why it says only 1%. Normally it's supposed to double it. Oh, what the hell? How strong was that? Also, I don't even know what that was. That was really strong. Just waiting a second. I need to get the thing back. Oh, I missed. Okay, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. Are you serious? That was... Alright, so shotgun just, completely annihilated. I mean, this, Metadom used to be called Zero Robot or something. Like, not the greatest. Not the greatest amount of health, but not worthless amounts of health either. Oh, okay. That did a lot less damage than I thought it would. Never mind. What happened there? Not the best musket either. Alright. I'm gonna just try this one more time. See how much damage I'm actually dealing. Because I feel like I'm either dealing a lot of damage or no damage. Alright, okay, so I'm not sure anymore. I'm either dealing a lot of damage or no damage. So that was confusing. Anyway, let's skip the rest of that. Honestly, I think that's gonna be really fun. I know it looks OP and stuff, but no one uses 5-round rapid anyway, so I'd let it fly just because I just think it's funny. Just because I think it's funny. Oh, that's gonna be broken as... Oh, that's interesting. So we have attacks. Okay, so the musket gets attacks on weak status enemies increase damage by 20%. Okay. Interesting how that's gonna work out. So far, from what I understand, the weakened status only comes from the Rage Rune. So you have to activate Rage Rune, use a basic attack, and then your damage will be increased subsequently. So There's a lot of steps involved. Trying to make use of that synergy. Obviously, spear can go F itself because increasing his mounted damage is like a whatever. I really don't like it. Adding an additional buff to the first and second stage of Wandering Dragon does look like it's Wandering Dragon. I don't know why they want to buff that again. Okay, so basically Nodachi gets 15% damage reduction, this time with that doesn't triple when at 25% health. Instead, it inflicts the amount of but the reduce so it will inflict the damage that's been reduced over time after 10 seconds or over 10 seconds by the looks of it. Normal longsword one, normal maul one. We've seen the. Whoa! Hang on. Which one is that applying to? Okay, so this is where another one translation just bugger all incorrect here. But I don't have the translation for this one, so. Oh, okay. No, never mind. It's fine. The translation is fine. It's reduced. So while you're using your ult, you take 10% less damage. That is comboed with your epic armor set. So poleaxe is just going to become even beefier with the 20% increase in health. Wait, is that from your epic set? I can't remember whether or not you get CC immunity and the increase of health, or is that the increase in health is from a rune and you only get CC immunity. Either or, you get 10% damage reduction now as well. This one for the glaive, I could test this out. I think is actually supposed to reference, their mounted ability. Let's see if I can mount up inside the thing. Hopefully we can. And remember to actually put it on. Oh. While I'm at it, just double check that concussion. If I can't mount up, that's gonna be sad. That means I don't know how to, well, yeah. It says probably ultimate, not sure. I think by the looks of it, it's supposed to be, yeah. Let me just switch feed again. Hopefully the visual effects is working, but I'm pretty sure. Can I stop sparring and it doesn't kick me off? Huh? What the hell? Alright, that didn't work. Yeah, now it turns into a concussion. Alright. I didn't activate the skill. Oh, yep. Okay, so as you can see, I am CC immune when I use that skill, which is kind of weird. Oh man, if I was better at aiming, the follow-up should do more damage. Alright, so that is referring to the turn and attack. That's what it's called. The mounted skill for the glaive. So let's go back. Is it cool? I don't think so. I don't think it matters. Mostly while you're on horse, you don't really get stopped when you use that. So I don't think it really. I don't think anyone would ever use that one. Honestly, that just makes no sense. Like, why would you have that? Shield throw. We had this before. Reduce the base cooldown by. Reduce the base cooldown. by 3%, increase the range by 20%, reduces the slow effect by 20%. The longer range is cancer anyway, so that the fact that that's returning is kind of upsetting because again, it was really cancer before. People would be throwing the shield like they were throwing shurikens, and it was hilarious. Honestly, absolutely hilarious. This says apparently if you get a kill with a hero, it resets its cooldown. Again, really dumb because it's a very powerful single, like it's very powerful at executing. It's really strong, honestly. Like the damage out from Green Dragon should never be underestimated. Fine if you want to put Cold Dragon. Green Dragon? Seriously? You're gonna one-shot someone with like all of these things. Just imagine you have a pipe drop down on you, puts you on the dirt, and then starts charging up his ultimate. Bam! Hits you with like a 10k ultimate. Even if it doesn't hit you with a 10k ultimate, I've been hit in the face with those things, and they deal like 6 or 8,000 damage. No joke. And I'm playing heavy armor most of the time. Full armor, by the way. This probably refers to its the next one is probably reference to their um passive. So if everyone keeps forgetting, Pike has a passive where its basic attacks give them gentle step, which increases their damage by 4%. If this increases it to 3% per stack, that's an additional 9% because it stacks up to 3 times. So instead of 12%, it's now 21%. Can I please get some nerfs on Pike and stop adding multipliers, please? This is ridiculous. Um, I don't know why there's a percentage in here, but the crit value alone itself being 1,000 is like 10%, and then 120% of your own crit value on top of that. That could be in. Okay, maybe it's not the amount that I thought it was. Okay, because I'm looking at here, 158% is 5.73%. So you could be critting like crazy. Someone, someone smarter than me should actually test that out. The crit value, and also, if it's crit value, it's crit. If it's critical value, it's their crit chance. If it's critical damage, it's again critical damage. If it's crit value, you could be critting like nearly every other attack. I'm guessing this will work out to be some kind of ridiculous 50% crit rate or something. This one apparently got this one apparently has two parts to it. Okay. So the first part is what's on here. The second part is not because he didn't open it up. But anyway, apparently for this one, activating Dragon Leap will instantly charge it. You will instantly receive no matter what charge state you are in for Dragon Leap, you will get the full charge effect, and it will refresh all of your abilities besides the ultimate. Then there's another part to this where apparently every hit gives you 2% damage and 1.5% lifesteal, stacking up to 15 times for 6 seconds. And after 6 seconds, you lose 3 stacks. And I'm guessing per 6 seconds. Not entirely sure how this one works. May actually just briefly take a look at that while we are actually here, and this is going to be a very long video anyway. Again, I'm sorely underprepared for this. I did not test out a lot of these things, and again, I'm working in the dark. Well, not really. This translation thing is really helpful. And of course, don't take my word for this. I did not translate this myself. Obviously, someone from the PTR was kind enough to give everyone this. Oh, okay. I shouldn't have just used it in blanket. And I didn't even equip the stupid thing. Of course I didn't. Hopefully this doesn't bug out. So you can use all your abilities. Oh, I didn't need to do that. So that's the buff there, and it looks like with every ability hit, I'm just gonna check something. Oh, that's kind of busted. Oh, that's kind of busted. What the heck? That's a heck of a lot. Okay, so I can't get... Man, if I had two of them lined up... Oh, man. Nope. I don't know what to do. So... Every hit, every ability, if you hit something with an ability so far, by the looks of it, you get a stack of this. So this increases your damage by 2%, stacking up to 15 times. And you get 1.5% lifesteal, stacking up to 15 times. Like, if, okay, so just double checking something. It's stacks. It gives you a unique stack per target. You could use Dragon Leap into an enemy army, get full stack of 30%. Oh my god. Nodachi one-man army, mate. One-man army. I'm scared. I'm scared of Nodachi right now. This could be a situation where Nodachi could literally just be a one-man army. And I bugged out a thing again. This is like a thing that happens every time now. Alright. Just don't don't quote me on anything for like that's going to happen, because I'm just trying to get as much information as for you guys as I possibly can, just kind of condense it down into a video. It's not easily digestible, but it's there. And I hope I like giving people information, and this is the kind of information which is interesting because it has some of my thoughts in it. And the second part of that thing alone, the increases, that's ridiculous. Already 30%, like topping out 30% increase in damage, 22.5% lifesteal. with blood, like with everything considered, Nodachi Nodachi could easily pump out a multiplier where they would chop through like tier fives could actually be killed by Nodachi. Like this could be enough damage where Nodachi could actually kill stuff, and if you don't instantly kill, well, I actually take that back. Tier five stuff could probably instantly kill Nodachi, but if you can't, you're gonna be in a world of hurt because with all things considered, that this is like this is some redonkulous level of this is some redonkulous level of impossible to kill scenario. Like as a baseline, as long as you can keep that stack going, and I'm pretty sure like you could probably have a very easy steadfast and bloodthirsty rotation thrown in. You could have a bloodthirsty, fearless and steadfast and bloodthirsty rotation, and you just need to throw in something that's like low cooldown as well. You could probably have Samurai's March thrown in there. Oh man, that's disgusting. Disgusting. Oh man, that's disgusting. You could also have blood. You could have Blood Oath. You could have Blood Oath for an extra 20% damage. 20% damage, 30% damage. Like, excuse me. That's like I'm just imagining it now. Like, if you before you use Dragon Lead, you can get 15. If you get 15 stacks, activate Blood Oath, you're doing 50% extra damage on your max charge, instant max charge, Dragon Leap. That's over 600% plus, almost probably over 1,000 extra damage. Probably 10,000 plus damage. Like easily could probably one shot someone with that. Oh my god, you could. I'm definitely thinking that there's going to be compilations where Nodachi pulls out some bullshit combo and then someone just dies. Ugh. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I can't believe they have something like that. Um, all right. For some reason, they changed the 8% damage reduction to 10% defense value. Weird. After using ultimate, for every second replenish HP by 0.5% of max HP lasts 10 seconds. Okay, weird. So you only get a 5%, you get a 5% heal? What? That's nothing. Like what? What? 5% heal? Come on. Heaven and Mercy heals more than that. As a baseline. We've had this before. 25% increase in AoE. Had this before. Gets defenses, gets the oh no, this is red wrong. This is red wrong. Stage 3 gets an increase in defenses. Stage 4 provides immunity to daze. Stage 5 gets CC immunity. But that's wrong. That can't be right, actually. That has to be normal. That has to be something that we've seen before, right? It wouldn't make sense. Otherwise, they changed it slightly. Huh. They must have changed it slightly. I can't remember what everything was, but it was defense increase, damage damage reduction, or something. Oh, now I can't remember. They've changed. They probably had to change it. Oh, that's really irritating. Hmm. So it's yeah. This is not translated. this is not translated, and this is not similar to anything before, so I can't really tell you what the hell this small one does, but it has something to do with Mjolnir, which makes no sense because I think it means whirlwind, not. I think I think what it's supposed to refer to is um Maelstrom, sorry, not Mjolnir, because I don't think there's Mjolnir. Mighty Mjolnir is the fast forward, the name for the fast forward. Yeah. All right. Continuing on. Pole active lower than 30%, increase damage by 10%. Trash. Perked Coben, fourth hit. Again, trash. Flying Reaper causes concussion for 4 seconds instead. 4 second concussion. That's gotta be painful as. Is it Arc of Steel? Hmm. Just gonna have Arc of Steel available. Whoop. So basically, if you use a skill, these two skills, you'll be immune to CC, except for choke, of course. Um, Increasing Ironside by 20%. Use of. Oh, okay. So apparently, Short Sword gets something similar. Oh, Hail of. Oh, man. CC immunity for Hail of Blade or Flying Reaper for thing. CC immunity for Centurion Drill or Thunderstruck for the other one. So that kind of makes sense. Centurion Drill definitely needs it. Thunderstruck, probably not. I do think that Centurion Drill also needs like a big ass damage increase or some kind of utility. Obviously, I hate the bow one. Increases your damage against units. Against slashing defense higher than six. Wow, what a conditional! Slashing defense higher than 600, increased damage by 10%. That This is crazy. Why would you just have a flat 10% increase in damage? You already have something that reduces someone's slashing damage. And if this is calculated on base, or maybe it's not calculated on base. This is just a 10% increase in damage. What even? The shuriken increase in damage against units. I mean, not shuriken. I call it shuriken, but like everyone knows that you only use dual blades for shurikens nowadays. And if you have a good slashing damage dual blade, you're not gonna use it to actually kill heroes, are you? Alright, first stage slash layer further increase 21 piercing damage and 21 movement speed. Biggest stage slash layer reduced by 6. I think has to do something about it. Okay, so I don't know what this does, but from the description, it looks like it's reducing. It's doing something to reduce the. So it's talking about the armor piercing passive that's on the short bow. For some reason, it's reducing the number of stacks by 6, and it's maxing out the effect to 21. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, no. If I'm thinking what it's supposed to say, what this does for the last one increases the increases the effect by 21% for piercing damage and 21% for movement speed, but it reduces the number of stacks by 6. You can have up to 30 stacks, by the way. If it gets reduced by 6, it's 2.4. The thing here is that how it's written is that do you need to get to max stacks? Or is it from the beginning? Yeah, no idea. I am not really patient enough to actually test that, and I don't expect you guys to sit here watching a video of me testing for that. So, yeah, let's go with looking at the units. Again, we don't have very much description. I can just give you a basic rundown on what all of them does. But as far as I know, there's a lot of stuff in the veterancies that. Okay, let's just quickly go through the veterancies and stuff because it would be very simple just to explain what line does what. Okay, obviously, starting off with the tier 3 singular veterancy, probably just a lot of basic stuff. These are companion cavalry, 2 veterancies. Top line veterancy is the number 2 ability. Bottom line veterancy is the number 1 ability. Now, this sword ability only triggers after the number 2 ability, and simply put, the top line adds a bleed, the bottom line doubles the momentum damage. If that kind of makes sense. These are called, let me just get the name right, Sunward Phalanx. Top line is their number 3. Not number 3. Okay, they have a brace skill, advanced skill, and a poke skill. It will be better to show you this, but essentially, poke skill is top line. Bottom line is advanced skill / brace. So advanced / brace is bottom line. Top line is the poke skill. You really can output a lot of damage with the poke skill. Don't bother though. It is way better and logistically easier just to go bottom line brace and just have them be superior units. There is a +1 down here. I think it's here. This spear array is a +1 to brace, and this works for their advancing as well. Now, for the absolute madness is the fact that they have the super lance, and it causes knockback on hit. I'm not sure how much they have limited this, but it doesn't look like they limited this at all. They can cause knockback if the unit isn't being affected by anything else. Like, if it's not being hit by something that's stronger than by a knockback or stronger, it can knock you back. Like, you're concussed, you get knocked back. You're dazed, you get knocked back. This is really strong for anything that doesn't have a shield and that's not CC immune. People cannot get on top of these guys, and that's one of the bigger problems. But they also have very high damage stats. So you look at those damage stats. This is Fortebrachos with shields, and they are way more maneuverable. So let's just have a quick look at them. And again, if you want me to, I will update the video just kind of briefly to get things like to pass information along. But most of the testing will have to be done live, or you can watch the testing that I did with Alan from earlier. Now, the slingers are very fun, by the way. They have relative accuracy. And they have block break around about 100. So as you can see, their accuracy, bit hit and miss sometimes. Bit hit and miss. So their number 3 ability allows them to gain ammunition, and frankly, it's quite a bit. So generic, quite mediocre ranged unit, but it's fun regardless. It's mostly because of the concentration ability, and it's essentially their projectiles are perfect. They're faster and they travel more horizontal, like in real life. Like this is how projectiles should be like in game, but unfortunately arrows have to do this stupid arcing thing, even though they're only like 10 meters away from you. So generic unit, but much better. Just straight up better.
Your unit is retreating.
Now, this is top line ones, so do mind, the momentum damage should be doubled in this case. Okay, I say momentum damage should be double, but I think they block braked, and if... God damn it. I think they also cause block break, so if you saw like 1500, if you saw 15,000 like I did, yeah, let's go with that. Do mind, the reason why they also do a lot of damage is because they have to stay within that radius you see. That radius you see around the hero, you can barely see it on the edge here, but that is a special aura for when the cavalry is near you. They get a buff in speed and in damage. Yeah, that was oh my god. So yeah, it's, I don't know who said it, but like someone said their damage wasn't great. Maybe it's because they weren't standing next to the thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the damage is great. Damage is trash, right? It's not like they're doing 10,000. It's not like they're doing 11,000+ damage. Alright. So, I didn't explain this earlier. So, well, I tried to explain this earlier. The number 1 ability is essentially a charge. Essentially. But they follow the same pattern as Krieg's brothers. So they actually have an attack that they do while charging. They actually do an attack while charging. So there is a limit. There is a limit to how fast they can attack. And depending on several things, they could actually have a hit limit. Now, okay, I keep pretending it's a like I keep pretending like I need to point them in the direction of charge, but you don't. You just activate it and they just gallop towards the target. And it's a short cooldown, by the way. It's a short cooldown, by the way. So you can throw them out of direction. And I think they kind of heat seek towards the enemy as well. They don't seem to also run into things like normal charge, but maybe it does, maybe they do. But yeah, it's like if you've ever used 100 Human, it's like Gallop. If you've ever used Bull Rush on the Anu Dao, it's like that. It's a little bit uncontrollable. You don't tell them where to go. But I think they auto aim, which is one of the things that might make them really good. Yeah, they auto aim. So they're kind of brain dead that way, since they auto aim. Now, their number 2 ability is kind of like a jumping thrust attack, and it breaks the spear and makes them switch to melee. As you can already tell, it's fairly strong.
Make haste! Follow me!
They're just normal melee cavalry when they're in this state. They're not, doesn't look like they're particularly any strong. And again, the aura thing, it's a lot. Honestly, it's a lot already. As long as you're fighting with your companion cavalry will probably be way stronger than anything you've ever seen. As you can see there, I did a lot less damage because they weren't buffed by my aura. Or maybe they, yeah, maybe they weren't buffed by my aura, and they did a lot less damage.
Get moving!
But while they're in my aura, while they get this buff here, they'll be crazy strong.
Follow me!
You see, that's the damage increase there. Bunch of them getting a damage increase.
Now? Stand to battle!
Throw them somewhere. Heat seek. Slap, 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 slap. Make them come back. Well, I mean, like, they come back automatically. So it's definitely a bit of hit and run. Definitely a bit of hit and run. You heal constantly. I mean, like, you're healing 100, which is almost equal to the Tundra humans. Almost, I think. Actually, no. It's stronger than the Tundra humans, unless you go bottom line, which makes the Tundra humans slightly stronger. Yeah. It's stronger than the Tundra humans one, actually, yeah.
Form up! For glory!
Alright. Now, for probably what everyone wants, Sunward, the... Oh, what the hell? Oh, no. The description didn't come out.
Your unit is retreating.
Yeah. Yeah, CC immunity. CC immunity on thing. Now, block formation here causes them to enter phalanx automatically. That is probably because it uses the same structure as the Fortebraccios. Now, the cool thing about this is that they stay exactly where you want them to when you brace them. But you can press the V button and they attack. Sorry, not they attack. They can swivel. And they're fast. look how fast they're swiveling. Like, their turn rate is really fast. You compare this to Fortebraccios. This is like old Fortebraccios, basically. This is basically what you would see with old Fortebraccios. If not, they're probably even faster than old Fortebraccios, honestly. Or maybe it's been so long that I don't remember.
Make haste!
Now,
Attack! Stand to!
the good thing,
Fall in!
the strong thing about these guys is their blue bar, blue health passive thing. Now,
Attack!
it's hard to explain it all without just simply putting it this way. If they have this blue health, they will block an attack no matter how much damage it deals. One attack, they will block it. They still have a shield you have to get through. And if they take any damage, they will automatically, how to say, recover from CC. So it's like an instant CC recovery when they get hit and the blue bar is depleted. And this blue bar health thing also blocks whatever the attack, no matter how much damage that attack deals, it will be completely blocked. I've seen these guys tank a bombard shot. I've seen these guys tank basically some of the hardest hitting abilities in the game and not take a scratch. So it's definitely a quantity over quality with these guys because they have a I block one attack, or you deal no damage to me for one attack scenario. That is incredibly strong. Do mind though, these guys statistically only has about 7,300 health. Something like that. They're still incredibly difficult to kill. These shields, Alan worked it out to be around about 1,200. That puts them similar level, if not slightly higher, than paladins. They're not as good as heavy shields, but they're definitely not a small amount. And, I mean, with the amount of block break around in this game, it'd probably get instantly block broken in mere seconds, but here's the kicker. They have basically the same block value as paladins, but they have a spear that is 3 times the attack range of paladins and probably deals twice as much damage. Do mind, I have a +1 from bottom line in Brace. That's why I say twice as much damage, because a singular attack, they probably equal. There's 40 of them. I'm less tanky. I have less health. My shield is slightly better, but I also block one attack and recover from CC. So the worst thing is that this guy by himself, you can't come up behind him and then just ult. You have to hit them with something first, then hit them with your ult. Otherwise it would do nothing. Otherwise do nothing. Literally it would do nothing. Crazy, isn't it? Alright, now time to get into some of the other things. The coolest thing about this unit is the fact that this is an advance and a retreat. You can advance, stop, retreat at will. That is incredible. Not to mention, they stay in formation. Absolutely incredible. And as you can see, they also have a very powerful number 2 ability, which frankly does plenty of damage.
This unit's skill is on cooldown.
Now, it's kind of sad. I don't like this formation, mostly because the shields are wanky. But I find it really funny when you... Did they just speak Italian? Or maybe I don't know what Macedonians. I like how it's supposed to say that it has the penalties of Super Lance, but if you're looking at that, it doesn't look like it, does it? So yeah. So far, for whatever reason, this unit is bonkers strong. Crazy strong. And as you can see, just knock back constantly. More knockback. Damage out from the number 2 ability. Bonkers crazy. And then retreat. Good thing is that they don't phase through anything and the formation gets interrupted. Good. Honestly, it would be absolutely broken if it didn't.
Attack at will! Fallen! All troops form up! Fallen!
But yeah, that's the Sunward's Phalanx. Very powerful, very strong. Tier 5. Very strong, very powerful Tier 5 pike units. And marching in formation is cool. I mean, like, even if you fuck up the formation. I'd love it if people could make perfect formations all the time, but you can't. Imagine a whole group of people marching in phalanx like this. Or better yet, you have several people in the denser formation marching around. This is really stupid as well, because you could get scenarios where you just do this. That's so silly. That's so silly.
All troops form up! Form up! Quickly now! Form up! Stand to! All troops form up! Fallen! All steady!
I can run them around and they're that dense. Wow, that is a very loud sound for the shots. Anyway, that's kind of everything. Without going into the nitty-gritty details for a bunch of things, I mean, people are complaining that their shields don't block projectiles, but they do. They do. It's just not very consistent. It's not like they have ginormous shields where they'll always block attacks, or they'll block a majority of the attack. You see here, they blocked a couple of the attacks. Some of the attacks went through. And as you can see, I'm still taking a couple of tick damage. That does happen, even with regulars. Or in fact, I take that back. Maybe they don't block at all. No, I heard a block noise. Would actually have to kind of remember seeing probably somewhere where like a ranged unit was shooting at these guys. It feels like they're really weak to range, but that's fine. If they were impervious to range, that would be disgusting. I think they did this on purpose so that they're not impervious to range, because they'd just be too strong otherwise. But if that does get changed in the future, maybe. It's considerably already, I mean, like, considering that if it's just melee attacks, fine. Because if their shield actually works against range attack as well, there'd be absolutely no counter for these guys. Because their shields actually have quite a bit of block. And if you know range, they do no block damage. Too bad I can't see. I can't see if they're blocking. I'm gonna have to ask Alan, or check the footage of the slingers. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, sorry, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But other than that, my name's Azakai. I'll keep you updated with any changes. So if the translation does come in, I'll redo a lot of the video. Not really go through any of the visual stuff, but again, if the translation or official, like if the translation patch does come through, and I'm expecting it to come through, expect me to kind of redo this video. But for now, that is much of what I know for the upcoming season of Alexander, and I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that having the phalanx unit being the perfect infantry is too much? They deal a lot of damage, they're basically tanks with their passive, and they have a shield. I mean, like, the shield already makes up for a lot of the shortcomings. And the flexibility, just like the mechanics for them, is amazing. Companion Cavalry, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me when I say that shit broken. The slingers are going to be slingers are just going to be worth it for their leadership. They only cost 80, right? They only cost 80 in season, 90 after season. So they're super cheap range unit that could just play a filler role. Honestly, I definitely do think that they could have been like a tier 2 unit. And this is like a power crept to tier 2 unit. Basically, like they're 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 really good for their costs. Like crazy good for their cost. But yeah. What do you hate? What do you like? If you share the same opinion, I don't. Again, I don't like the fact that we have ancient and medieval clashing against each other in a, I like to say, a medieval battle simulator, but right now it's just a battle simulator. Not even historical, just not even ahistorical. It's just a battle simulator. It's just, I mean, like, I could also just say it's a game. But yeah, that's just giving in too much. Nevertheless, I am excited to see some things. I like a lot of the changes. There's definitely going to be more OP things coming. The musket 5-round rapids going to be hilarious. No Dachi is probably going to be hilarious. I'm going to absolutely hate Pike. I think Pike's going to be OP. Spear is probably going to just stay strong. It's probably not going to be an outlier. Obviously, Poleaxe is going to stay strong. Wondering what's happening with Mole. Doesn't look like it got anything good, but I mean, like, it doesn't need anything. The the whole the whole the whole season does seem like it's going to shake up a lot of things. Unit balance wise, we haven't seen anything to the other units, and the new seasonal units all seem to be fairly unique in their own ways and strong in certain aspects. Obviously, tier 3 is going to be underperformed because it's a tier 3. Not really common to have a tier 3 that is fairly strong, unless you're Damachi or Fenris, or you were the original Condos. But then again, everyone in that season was bonkers OP, or Janissaries, which were like musketeer. You have examples. You have examples of strong units, and you have the Outriders. It's just like Anyway, enough me rambling. Have a nice day. Sorry. If Hope you guys enjoyed the video. My name is Azakai. Have a nice day. Bye for now.